about troop morale? Here's the latest German film on the Battle of France.
A report on German morale delves into the calculated methods used by the Nazi regime to maintain the spirits of both soldiers and civilians amid mounting challenges in 1944. Using a mix of captured footage, the film offers a rare look at the propaganda tactics and psychological tools wielded by Nazi leaders to control morale. The report opens with scenes from the Russian front, where German prisoners of war are shown in harsh conditions, underscoring the brutal nature of the Eastern Campaign. It introduces key Nazi figures like Joseph Goebbels, the chief architect of propaganda, and highlights the strategic role of the SS in enforcing morale and discipline within Germany. The film also investigates the resilience of German combat units stationed in France, emphasizing how Nazi propaganda kept their spirits high despite the looming Allied threat. To support morale, the film showcases advancements in Nazi technology, including a massive new cargo plane, a specialized demolitions tank, and the notorious V1 bomb, touted as a symbol of German innovation and strength. In close-up shots of Hitler and Heinrich Himmler, the film reveals the central figures of the Nazi hierarchy, responsible for bolstering the German people's will to fight. As German POWs' expressions are captured in somber close-ups, the film subtly questions the sustainability of Nazi morale, hinting at the underlying strain and disillusionment. A report on German morale offers a unique window into the psychological warfare waged within Nazi Germany, portraying a regime determined to sustain its power even as the tide of war turns against it.
The Russians surrendered. Thus the retreat is hidden in the showing of a successful operation.
As the Russian advance can no longer be concealed, the major theme is being pounded into the population. Keep the Russians out of Germany. This is Goebbels' shrewdest argument, to exploit the Germans' fear of the consequences of defeat. So far, propaganda, regimentation, and fear have kept the German home front under control. What about troop morale? Here's the latest German film on the Battle of France. There's no doubt about it. The battle is tough. And yet the Germans who fight us have been at war 5 years. They have suffered defeat after defeat. By normal standards, they should be ready to give up. Why don't they? The answer is that most of the Germans are good professional soldiers, hardened veterans. They've grown used to the risks and setbacks of war and proved skillful defensive fighters. The confidence of many soldiers is bolstered by the quality of their weapons. They have good small arms. Their heavy equipment is excellent. Their artillery ranges from highly mobile field pieces to huge railroad guns. Their mobile rocket launchers are extremely effective. New weapons are exploited to the utmost for purposes of morale. An example is this monster, the ME-323 transport plane. Its warehouse-like interior can hold a tank or truck. It can carry 150 fully equipped troops. Here's another Nazi notion, the Doodlebug tank. It caused us little trouble. But its surprise introduction was widely publicized in the German army. On the other hand, the robot bomb B-1 has been devastating. This one missed, but thousands like it have smashed nearly 1 million dwellings in London alone. And Goebbels boasts that a new V-2 bomb will be 10 times more powerful. Many German soldiers believe that promised secret weapons will turn the tide and bring victory. At this time of crisis, the Nazi High Command has done everything possible to sustain troop morale. At the expense of the conquered peoples, German soldiers have been well fed, well clothed, and have received excellent medical care. The officers make a point of comradeship with enlisted men. Prisoners we have taken provide the best yardstick for measuring troop morale. Prisoners are interviewed. The interviews are analyzed, and a check is maintained on the trends of German morale. A cross-section shows that a small percentage is out-and-out defeatist. Some are discouraged and indifferent. The majority, however, still fanatically believe in the Fuhrer. Even capture cannot shake the arrogant faith in the Nazi creed that's been bred in them from childhood. Most important, the overwhelming number of soldiers see no alternative but to keep on fighting. For Hitler and his accomplices have taken over direct control of the army. Opponents to their fanatic policies have been purged. Trapped by the armies of the United Nations, these bankrupt leaders have no escape. Desperate, they're trying to postpone their fate by throwing the German army into futile battles. They plan to fight this war to the last German. They're willing to sacrifice a division if it will delay their trial even for a day. To enforce this policy of wanton destruction, they have a personal army of trained murderers, the SS. The blind loyalty of these men has been bought by a special privilege. They've been taught fabulous lies about their own racial superiority. In the name of the Fuhrer, they indulge themselves in every form of brutality and sadism. Appropriately, they are led by Heinrich Himmler, the depraved torturer, the man who has made a science of mass murder. Responsible only to Hitler, these 250,000 SS men have fortified German cities against their own inhabitants. SS units have been placed in key spots on all fronts. In case of revolt, they are prepared to fight the regular army. They have their own air force, their own panzers. They operate their own transport and communication systems. they form a brutally efficient weapon against revolt. A police army unprecedented in the history of nations. There is no shortcut to unconditional surrender. The German position is desperate. Now is the time for the knockout blow. It's a tough and bloody job. But to falter now, either on the battlefield or in the factory, means to endanger the sweat and suffering we have already poured into the war effort. We are marching on the road to victory. We must not stop marching until every enemy of free men is trampled underfoot.